So this now becomes an instance of someone demanding an apology from themselves, Joe. That Oprah is embarrassed by her behavior about the way that she treated a guy who took advantage of her and her platform. And
her inner Sebastian Maniscalco is going, "Aren't you embarrassed?" And everyone's like,
"She's mid, bro."
Clip 3, Ed.
You know, I feel, and particularly in watching it for the first time last night, I feel that I was in the midst of also being attacked for my perception of saying the truth doesn't matter. And as I watched the tape last night, on 3 occasions, I said, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed.
Right. So this is all to say that Oprah flogged him publicly because her ego was bruised. That's her explanation for this in clip 4.
What I now know is that whenever you're in the position to be embarrassed, that really is your ego. It was your ego on the line. And so I felt that I had been attacked and therefore had to defend myself.
She's a whole lot of woman with a whole lot of ego, Joe. I think she keeps her ego in her ass there. Did you see that ass falling out of that chair?
No, I was throwing up in a bucket.
But Oprah is going to be the bigger person, obviously. And the richer person, yeah, she's going to be the richer person, the person that needs the most recognition, and she's going to take the moral high ground and apologize to James in clip 5.
And what I realized when I look at that tape now, and what I realized in the shower that morning, and this came as clear as, as if it were being spoken to me, is that what people saw was my lack of compassion. So I apologize for my lack of compassion.
Cue single tear roll down Oprah's cheek.
Some production assistant ran in and dabbed that on right before that.
Spitballed a drop onto her face.
So she probably ruined this guy's career. And maybe what little success he had was stripped away because he was certainly dropped by his publisher after this all came out. But at least Oprah could sleep easy tonight knowing that she apologized for calling out a fraud on national television.
I apologize. Real quick, she didn't do her due diligence on this guy. She's supposed to be like this hard-hitting journalist,
or at least her team is.
Oh, okay, all right. So with that, I just want to also say that she looks like fucking Sid from Ice Age. I mean, can we talk about this just for 1 second? Look how far her eyes are apart. She's a mess.
Yeah, it's funny that because Patrick Michael famously said that Carl looks like Sid from Ice Age too. So maybe Carl is Oprah's illegitimate son. But all that is to say that Oprah isn't necessarily the car gifting, benevolent, oracle looking type of personality that some people might associate her with. She does have the capacity to ruin a guy's career on national television. And with that being said, I want to turn it over to Joe because this isn't so much an episode about Oprah as it is about comedian Monique. Right, Joe?
Right. So I told Andy to put out the social media post on it, so it's at least in our universe. But I was like, well, we have to do this, and I didn't realize the depths that it was going to go. But we obviously knew about the James Frey apology tour or fiasco that was. So we wanted to cover Oprah in that way, but the real reason we decided to do this and at least make Oprah the topic was because Monique went on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay show and she started her whole routine, which I didn't realize this is a routine that she's been doing for a long, long time. But she went on and was demanding apologies from Oprah.
This is Monique's squeegee bit.
Yeah, right. So if you don't know Monique, Monique was is a stand-up comedian, and she was on a show called The Parkers, and she's been in some movies. She won Best Supporting Actress Oscar at one point. But here's a couple of my favorite performances from Monique. She famously killed Landfill in Beer Fest, Ed. And then you've heard Andy and I also reference her racial flowchart in Domino, where she breaks down multiracial ethnicities.
Chinese Negro, right here. That's you. Chinese Negro.
A word.
You're Chinese
That is not
Negro.
a word.
Yes, it is, sister. We have Korea grow, that Negro. Okay, we got that Negro. Hispanic, Korea Hispanic, and last but not least, check this out, y'all. Japanic.
So great bits. That is to say, Monique's been acting for a long time. The Parkers was like 5 years. I turned on the Parkers just because I was like in Monique world, and I watched the Parkers. It sucks. I started watching 227 instead. And then, so we're highlighting the movies that I like that Monique has been in, but the whole thrust of this whole breakdown comes from her winning her Best Supporting Oscar for Precious, based on the novel Sapphire, or Push by Sapphire, as it was referred to ad nauseum at the time, so much so that I wanted to kill myself and never fucking watched it. I would never know if Monique was good in that movie at all, because it was the whole campaign around it was super annoying, which is odd to say because a lot of what the whole thing kind of breaks down because Monique didn't want to do extra work on top of her performance, or she may have felt like that was beyond her call, to, duty or something like that. She's her call of duty. But anyway, so
she called her strike in on me in Call of Duty once.
Exactly. So let's tease this a little bit more. Here's Monique in a YouTube channel called Comedy Hype. They interviewed her before she did Club Shay Shay. And I'm only going to show this because the script here is repetitive. Clip one, Ed.
Until that woman says, let me apologize to you publicly, it'll be to the day I leave this earth. Because what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly.
Right. So
that woman is
Oprah. Okay.
Right.
So all this goes back to when Precious won an Oscar, and Monique hasn't shut up about this since 2009. Okay. Precious came out in 2009. All right. So this whole confrontation is at minimum 14 years old. Okay. So she's been on this shit for 15 years, basically. In this next clip, Monique is talking this. She's going to take this shit to the streets.
When I speak about Oprah Winfrey, I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly.
Once again, keep in mind that this has been building for over a decade. Okay, like this is recent. The interview with Shannon Sharpe here is very recent. Okay, Shannon Sharpe has this quote unquote hot new show, but featuring people like Cat Williams and Monique, and these are kind of old stories within the Black community, as far as I can tell. And Shannon is just stirring this shit back up. and whatever, good for him, or giving a platform to people that he thinks need a platform or something like that. I like Shannon Sharp as on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, his NFL commentary. I like Shannon Sharp, okay, and I think these things are good. So I don't have anything bad to say about him. Usually these things devolve into us hating the interviewer more than we hate the offender, but that's not the case here.
Not Shannon Sharp and not Pat McAfee, but is Monique cosplaying as Oprah in this clip?
Well, there's some of that too, right? As far as these people, they're rivals in a way. Like they should kind of be friends, but it's one of those scenarios where we're too alike almost.
We're not so different, you and I, Oprah.
Yeah,
arch villain.
And I don't know where. There's certain things that really started to bother me after a while, especially with how long this has been going on. This isn't anything I wrote down or whatever, but I've kind of been ruminating on this for a minute. And Monique is like from like the shittiest part of Baltimore. Okay, so she's somebody,
the Jada Pinkett part of Baltimore.
Yeah, right. The Wire part of Baltimore is where she's from, and so I think that's maybe the two sides of the coin. The Harvey Dent, Oprah's the polished DA side of Harvey Dent, and Monique is the burned up piece of shit side of Harvey Dent. But that is definitely part of it. Is like there's only so much food on the plate for large black women, and they're fighting each other for their share. Monique tried to do this the right way first.
Okay. But I tried to be respectful. I tried to call you first. When she had my family on her show, I tried to call you first. I tried to talk to you privately, but then you became the great mighty Oprah Winfrey, and you were too busy to talk. Well, now I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah. So this is the equivalent of a kid saying, "Mom, mom, mom, mom," before devolving into a public temper tantrum and then saying, "Well, I tried to calmly get your attention first." Okay, well, mom was busy, or, we know what you want and we simply don't give a shit. But, she won't accept that.
Everybody is wondering, including me, because I watched your clips, but I didn't do a lot of the homework on this, and because I know you did. What did Oprah do to Monique that she's so pissed off about?
Okay, well, yeah, we're going to get to, I think, is that here? Yeah, I'm slow rolling you. So some of it has to do with the way Precious was handled, because Oprah was one of the producers. Tyler Perry and Oprah were producers on Precious, and Monique feels like she was slighted in that whole professional capacity, and we'll get into a little bit more of that going forward here. But Oprah also did a show on the heels of Precious about Monique, and we're going to get into that more here. I'm slow rolling you a little bit, but in the next two clips here, we're going to find out more. Now, Monique comes off as annoying, but that doesn't make her wrong.
This woman has overstepped with me in so many ways that somebody would say, if we wasn't Monique and Oprah Winfrey in the entertainment business, and we was Monique and Oprah Winfrey that worked at Costco, I see you in the break room. I see you at your cash register, because she's overstepped.
Okay, right. So everything we're about to get into here now, I don't believe that Monique is lying about everything we're about to talk about here at all. Okay. There may be a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, an overreaction, but I do believe everything that she says here. And part of the problem is that Monique believes that the truth is an infallible weapon in her quiver. Okay. So what is this all about? Clip 5.
And she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
Right. So Monique's brother is the Frank Abagnale of sex offenders. He's now working with the good guys to take down other chomos because we all know it takes a chomo to catch a chomo. Thank you, Oprah.
Juicy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean that. I meant this.
Chomo.